Right now at 6, authorities bring charges against a suspect involved in an exchange of gunfire in Miami.
We've got some cloudy skies, still have a few showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder out there as well. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, after a series of staffing changes, community members in Girard have concerns about the current state of their police department.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOA Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's now Wednesday. It is June the 4th. And of course, we had thunderstorms roll through yesterday. Thankfully, we got kind of lucky, but to the north and to our south, both in major metro areas as well, Kansas City and Oklahoma City, not so lucky. Had some tornado damage out there, had a lot more concerns with the severe thunderstorms, but we still have flooding also in our area, so got to make sure you are paying attention. If you know your route's prone to flooding, turn around, don't drown. And then we've got additional rain chances today, which will not help those flooding situations for some of us. Let's start with that look outside, though. Downtown Pittsburgh, we've got cloudy skies, which is pretty evident from this camera shot here. And the roads are beginning to dry. Now on the Missouri side, Modi camera 20th and range line, a little darker, a little cloudier, and a little wetter as we've had some showers and even a couple of rumbles of thunder pushing through. So we're going to take just a quick look. So back into southeastern Vernon County, we've got some showers out there stretching up toward El Dorado Springs, getting ready to roll into Osceola. Just south of Stockton, you've got showers and some heavier rain and some thunderstorms to your south, so be prepared. They are on their way. Greenfield, you've got storms to your north. You got more on the way. Lamar, Jasper, Carthage, down toward Diamond, Neosho. You are in the thick of the heavier rain and some of those thunderstorms. Of course, that does include parts of I-49 from Sheldon back down toward almost Goodman. Mount Vernon, Monette, you'll get some showers and storms soon. And we've got a few exiting the eastern portions of Ottawa County, a few lighter showers in northern Ottawa County, and some others that have begun to develop back toward Veneta and Newada, and even one there to the west of Oswego. So what we're going to have is these showers and storms continuing, and if you look to the south, in fact, we will just move the whole radar a little to the south, we've got additional showers and eventually maybe a couple of thunderstorms developing. Nothing severe is expected out of this, but this activity will continue to push to the northeast and may recycle a few times, and that's why once we get past some of these morning showers and storms, eventually the majority of rain we see today is going to be confined along and to the south of the I-44 corridor through today. Now, back behind that, in the parts of southeast Kansas. So again, you take Chanute and toward Fredonia, and you just draw this line right about here, points northwest. If you get a little more sunshine, you'll be a little warmer than everybody else across the areas. We're going to be dealing with those clouds for quite some time. We'll get a brief period around 8, maybe 9, where we might go to some partly cloudy skies briefly, and then the clouds will thicken back up as we head overnight tonight. So today, again, no severe weather expected, but a couple rumbles of thunder will certainly be possible. Tomorrow, I guess, is going to be for late tomorrow night into early Friday. We have level 2 out of 5 risk that's just now barely clipping us. And again, yesterday, that was spanning all the way rather to the east, but it's been trimmed back a bit. However, Friday, we still have that level 2 out of 5 risk for the southern half of our area for some additional strong, potentially severe thunderstorms. 64 in Joplin right now. 63 in Pittsburgh, and across here, there's that cold front. You can see where it's pushed through. So again, Iola pretty cool up there, 59. Otherwise, low mid 60s ahead of the front. Still some upper 60s and right around 70 in Bentonville, but this front will continue to push on through. I'll give us a north wind around 5 to 10 today. Again, isolated shower storms mainly south of I-44. Those should be done by 6, 7 o'clock at the latest, and most of us highs into the low 70s. As I mentioned, we do have additional storm chances on the way, some of which could be strong, potentially severe. We're going to take a look at those and the big warm-up next week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, he's still in the hospital, but authorities yesterday formally charged the man who was shot in an exchange of gunfire with Miami, Oklahoma police on Saturday. Charges against 25-year-old Michael Cook III are discharging a firearm into a dwelling, 2 counts of shooting with intent to kill, and feloniously pointing a firearm. Police say Cook fired into the Mia Bella Italian restaurant from outside, trying to force his way in. And they say when they confronted him, he opened fire and ran. Gunfire broke out again in the area of a nearby Arby's. Cook was shot, taken into custody, and flown to a Tulsa hospital in critical condition. That's where he remains. Authorities turned to the public for information regarding a burglary in Fort Scott, Kansas. Now, last week, officers responded to the First Baptist Church for a burglary report. Surveillance video shows a pair of unknown individuals inside the church. The individuals caused damage and rummaged through multiple areas of the building. The two have also been seen on nearby surveillance footage on foot and bicycles. The Fort Scott Police Department is asking for assistance in identifying the two individuals. Well, Crawford County law enforcement recovered items reportedly stolen from Jake's Fireworks. The sheriff's office says the burglary was reported Monday and that someone cut the fence and stole fireworks tools and other items. After identifying suspects and getting search warrants for 3 homes in Pittsburgh and Frontenac, law officers found the stolen goods and made an arrest. Now they're anticipating additional assets soon. Yesterday morning, about 10:15, an SUV overturned into the parking lot of a Wellspring Church on North Main in Webb City. Missouri State Highway Patrol say the southbound SUV was driven by a Webb City teen and went off the road to the right, overturning. There were no injuries. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, some residents in Girard have concerns about the current state of the town's police department. The department has seen several officers step down in recent months. In May, former police chief Sierra Roberts resigned. She had since taken a position at the Crawford County Sheriff's Office. It's drawn questions about what staffing the city currently has. Girard residents say they've noticed the Sheriff's Department having to respond to more calls in the area in the past couple of months. Some residents say they've also noticed an uptick in local crime.
We've been here in business, it'll be 38 years in November. We've never ever had any break-ins, never had any trouble at all. But since there's no police, it seems like it's just really gone downhill for the town.
The mayor of Girard confirmed with KOAM News that the city has appointed a new chief of police. Jesse Snyder began the role in mid-May. They currently have 1 patrolman active and another ready to start academy. The mayor says the city has an agreement with the county sheriff's office for nighttime coverage as well. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Oil prices jumped after Ukraine's stunning strikes inside Russia over the weekend. Plus, President Trump doubles tariffs on steel and aluminum imports while Elon Musk slams the president's budget bill. And we're tracking rain chances for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning, dear old dad is likely to make out like a bandit this year. According to the National Retail Federation, spending on Father's Day is expected to reach $24 billion this year. Now, that's a record and way up from last year's $22.4 billion. Of about 8,200 survey respondents, the average person plans to drop about $200. Now, all that dough will go to things like greeting cards, clothing, a special outing, and gift cards. Now, less than half of the respondents are buying for fathers or stepfathers, though. Now, just over half are buying for husbands, sons, brothers, friends, or grandfathers. Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th. Oil prices made a significant jump on Wall Street. The rise comes after Ukraine's large-scale drone strikes deep inside Russia over the weekend. The attack is stoking geopolitical concerns. U.S. oil climbed nearly 3.5% to $62.84 a barrel. Brent crude, the world benchmark, jumped just over 4.5% to $65.67 a barrel. Now, it's the first time in months that concerns about the Russia-Ukraine war have sharply lifted energy prices. The Federal Aviation Administration is looking for a company to build out a new air traffic control system over the next 3 years. Yesterday, the Department of Transportation issued a request for information. Last month, the FAA announced plans to replace and modernize core infrastructure, including radar, software, hardware, and telecommunications networks. Now, it's not clear how much the project will cost, but Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is counting on Congress to deliver funding. Well, President Donald Trump's trade war ratcheting up once again overnight, with levies on steel and aluminum imports doubling from 25% to 50%. It comes as the president is talking to Republicans in the Senate to push his so-called big beautiful budget package over the finish line by the July 4th holiday. But President Trump's former special employee and advisor, Elon Musk, is now publicly slamming the bill as, quote, a disgusting abomination. Jared Hill has more from New York.
As promised this morning, President Donald Trump's tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum doubled to 50%. Small companies like Washington, D.C.'s Wright Proper Brewing are preparing to grapple with higher prices, but the White House says the move will ultimately bolster domestic production. The owner of the brewery spoke to CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
It goes one way, and then you hear something else, then you hear something else. We'll figure it out, but it's painful.
Amid tariff negotiations,
Thank you, Elon.
a major rift with one of President Trump's biggest allies. Billionaire Elon Musk is slamming the president's prized tax cut and border bill, posting on X, quote, the massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. On Capitol Hill, Democrats embraced Musk's comments.
Breaking news, Elon Musk and I agree.
The Senate's top Republican disagreed.
He's entitled to that opinion. We're going to proceed.
The bill is now making its way through the Senate. GOP leaders say they believe they can get it passed in time to meet the White House's July 4th deadline, but a handful of Republicans are against it, including Kentucky's Rand Paul.
I want less spending. I want less debt.
On social media, the president wrote Rand votes no on everything, but never has any practical or constructive ideas. As Congress battles over new spending, the White House yesterday officially requested lawmakers claw back over $9 billion in foreign aid and funding for public radio and TV, aiming to make some DOGE cuts permanent. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now, the Secret Service say police in Florida arrested a man who allegedly climbed a fence and tried to enter President Trump's Mar-a-Lago club early Tuesday. According to arrest documents obtained by the Palm Beach Daily News, the man allegedly told police that he had hoped to speak with the president about the gospel and that he wanted to marry his 18-year-old granddaughter. President Trump was in Washington, and the Secret Service says no protectees were on the property at the time of the incident. And still to come, a new study suggests that a low-calorie diet could increase your risk of depression. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, Monday, 23 students at a Chicago high school were honored for a monumental academic achievement. They all received a perfect ACT score. Judy Sue was there for the ceremony.
Today is one of those rare, extraordinary moments in a school's history when we get to pause and celebrate academic greatness.
Greatness indeed, with less than 1% of ACT test takers across the country getting a perfect score. At Whitney Young Magnet High School this year, they have 23 students scoring
A perfect 36 on the ACT. Let's give them a hand.
and each one today
Daniel.
getting recognized for this monumental achievement, including Bennett Starr, for whom practice clearly makes perfect.
I've been preparing probably for about the last year, kind of like intermittent. I took about 8 practice tests just to practice it and prepare for it.
And Mila Martinez telling us about the special moment when she shared the news with her dad.
He started crying. You know, he's from Puerto Rico and never took the ACT, so for our family, it's a huge accomplishment.
Back in 2018, Whitney Young had 5 students scoring a perfect 36. The principal crediting this year's extraordinary record to the school's culture of high expectations, comparing the 23 academic all-stars to the legendary Michael Jordan, who, of course, wore the number 23.
Just like MJ, our 23 didn't settle for average. Michael Jordan once said, "I've always believed that if you put in the work, the results will come." Today, you all are living proof of that.
And today, these 23 joining an elite club across the country, making history and making Chicago proud.
Go Dolphins.
but an impressive accomplishment there by all of those students. Big congratulations to them. Here's Chris with a quick look at the forecast.
We still have a few showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder out there this morning, and that will continue for some of us through today. We'll have a complete look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:22 now on this Wednesday morning. Again, got some showers and even a few thunderstorms out there this morning. The heaviest rain on the Missouri side, so now starting to slowly slide off to the east-northeast. So that includes getting ready to roll into Osceola at this point. Stockton, you're in the thick of some of this heavier rain out there. A few rumbles of thunder. Greenfield, you've got some light showers, but more heavier rain on the way. And then this curves around, so just to the east of Sheldon, but tracing back toward Lamar, Jasper, Carthage, just now getting out of that as well. But Mount Vernon, you are next. Monette, not much longer before you'll get some heavier rain as well. Joplin, some heavier showers on the south side of the city, and a few stretching back toward Galena, Baxter Springs, and Riverton. Another one near Oswego. Neosho, you've got some heavy rain, as well as Diamond. Goodman, a couple of showers out there. One to the west of Pineville. We got this little guy near Veneta, another one by Jay, and then we have this little strand of showers from parts of Craig to Newata County. So the good news is no severe weather is expected with anything we see today, but we could see some additional rainfall, especially along and south of I-44. We are getting some, as you can see, north of that point, and I know we've got this cluster here, but once this rolls out, the better chances will be to the south, because what we're going to have is this activity in eastern Oklahoma is kind of recycling, regenerating, bringing up more showers, a couple of thunderstorms, and that's what's going to bring the better chances for a few additional showers and storms, again, along and south of I-44 as we roll through the morning into the afternoon and early evening hours as well. Now to the west, as we've been talking about, Chinook, Fredonia, Yates Center, these areas here, if you can get a little more sunshine than everyone else, you will likely be a little bit warmer than everyone else, going about the mid-70s, but most of us are going to hang out in the low 70s today, and we're also going to be hanging out with the clouds. Here we are at 5, a couple of those thunderstorms still out there, maybe around the Cassville area, and by about 6, 7 o'clock, they're done, they're over. That's going to be the end of it, at least temporarily. Mostly cloudy for our Thursday, isolated to widely scattered showers through the day, nothing too crazy, nothing to worry about. We'll warm up as well. It won't be, again, until late Thursday, the very early Friday, and we'll see that thunderstorm complex out to the west. So some changes, and you'll note on Future Track even, the storm complex doesn't look nearly as impressive as it did yesterday. And you can also see the main complex, even though it rolls into our western counties, looks to take a sudden dive to the south and east. So that's why we still have a chance for strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms in the first part of our Friday. But I think the bulk of that is going to stay off to the south, the greater chances, and that's why it's also been scaled back. Now, as we go late Friday, late evening hours out there, we could get a couple of additional showers or storms, and some of those could be strong to severe as well. So again, this is not really tomorrow necessarily. This is going to be late tomorrow, early Friday. We do not have any tornado risk areas highlighted, which is great, but we do have an isolated hail risk and an isolated to scattered wind risk. But keep in mind also yesterday for Friday morning storms, this higher risk did stretch considerably further east, but you can see it's kind of following that same diving motion that Future Track is showing. And then as we roll in again to the second half of our Friday, the late evening hours, if we do get a couple of additional showers or storms, those could be strong to severe as well, with the greater severe threat off in the southern half of our area. It is cloudy and dark and dreary out there in Joplin right now at 7th and Rangeline. Again, isolated storms through the morning. That big complex, once it exits, that will leave us with just those storm chances south of I-44. Low 60s to start, upper 60s by 11 o'clock this morning, and eventually low 70s for us today. North breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy skies will continue through the evening as well, and into the overnight back down into the mid 60s with some calm winds. And we head into tomorrow, a little warmer, upper 70s, low 80s by Friday. The 80s come back by Friday, and they are not going to let go for quite some time. We could have a couple of lingering showers or storms early Saturday morning from whatever activity we see late Friday. But then Saturday is looking pretty good. Few isolated showers on Sunday. Temperatures really starting to heat up next week. That is a check of your forecast. And now we're going to send it to Elise with Health Watch.
Chris, thanks. Well, a low-calorie diet could help you lose weight, but new research suggests it could also increase your risk of depression. A study published in BMJ Nutrition found people who were overweight and on a calorie-restricted diet reported feeling more depressed than people trying other kinds of diets. Now, the authors of the study say calorie-restricted diets could lead to nutritional deficiencies and stress, which could add to depression. Children born to mothers with obesity face a higher risk of infections. Research published in BMJ Medicine found infants were 41% more likely to be admitted to the hospital for an infection if their mothers were obese, and they were 53% more likely to be admitted between the ages of 5 and 15. Worldwide, it's expected 1 in 4 mothers will be classified as obese by 2030. And a cup of beans a day could boost your heart health and metabolism. People who ate more chickpeas had improved cholesterol levels, and people who ate more black beans had lower inflammation, according to a study being presented at the American Society for Nutrition meeting. This information could be especially beneficial for people with prediabetes. That's a look at Health Watch this morning. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, kids in Joplin learn the ins and outs of law enforcement during a kids' academy.
And we've got some showers, even some thunderstorms for some of us, others drying out. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a tasty event in Joplin cooks up some funds to support a Boy Scout troop.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAO Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Tuesday. No, it's not. It's Wednesday.
Tuesday must be your favorite day of the week.
Something about Tuesday. But no, it's June the 4th, and it is Wednesday,
yes,
June the 4th. And again, we got pretty lucky with the storms. I know we've got a lot of rain. We have a lot of flooding concerns, but we really kind of missed out on the severe opportunities that we were sandwiched between up around Kansas City and Oklahoma City yesterday across those regions. But here we do have the flooding concerns, so again, remember, turn around, don't drown. And if you know your route is prone to flooding over the next few days, make sure you've got an alternate route plan. Let's take a live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. It is cloudy, and the roads are still a bit damp, but they are drying out, and they will get opportunities to continue to do so. Got a heavy drizzle that's kind of started in Joplin. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. That's why it's a little hazy looking. I noticed, too, our camera at 7th and Rangeline, the visibility suddenly dropped, and it's just a very heavy drizzle that we've got out there this morning. So this is why. See, we've got some redevelopment of these little showers out here around Joplin, back into Cherokee County. We got some thunderstorm activity just south of Delaware County. And we've got this complex here, and that's rolling east of I-49 now, and it will continue to push off to the east. So once this clears, the primary locations or the better chances for any additional showers and storms will be along and south of the I-44 corridor, because we'll continue, like we're seeing now, to see additional shower and thunderstorm development out there through the morning into the afternoon across eastern Oklahoma. No severe weather is expected today, which is great news. But again, some extra rain, especially in some places where we don't need the extra rain, will be possible. Now, some of our counties out west may get a little more sunshine a little longer than the rest of us do, so you may reach the mid-70s, but the rest of us a little bit cooler today. By 6, 7 o'clock, showers should be out of here and will be mostly cloudy and dry overnight ahead of more rain chances rolling through the next few days. So again, no severe weather expected today. Again, late tomorrow night into very early Friday morning, we have this isolated to scattered risk for strong to potentially severe storms out there. And then better chances, though, as we head into late Friday, we could get some additional storm development, as some of those could be strong to severe as well. 64 in Joplin right now, 63 over in Pittsburgh. There's that cold front, so ahead of it, still warm. We got 71 in Anderson. We've got 69 Cassville, 70 Bentonville. You get back behind it, Iola, you've been 59 most of the morning. But we get those low to mid-60s on the backside of this front. That's not dropping our temperatures significantly, not to winter levels by any means, but it is cooler today as we go in the low 70s. Showers, thunderstorms again along and south of I-44, and a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As I mentioned, though, we have more shower and thunderstorm chances out there, some of which could be strong, possibly severe. We're going to break down those details for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, before the storms moved through our area yesterday, they brought some heavy rains to the west of us. Flash flooding in the Wichita area stranded some drivers in roads Emergency responders had to perform a number of water rescues, some requiring boats. Some people voluntarily evacuated their homes in the face of rapidly rising water. And federal assistance may soon be on its way to southwest Missouri following last month's severe storm damage. Yesterday, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe announced that FEMA will participate in preliminary damage assessments and response costs in 5 Missouri counties. Those counties include Dade, Douglas, Ozark, Vernon, and Webster counties. Those storms brought damaging straight-line winds, excessive rain, large hail, and flooding damage from May 23rd through May 26th. Additional counties may be added as damage information is received from local officials. And of course, don't forget you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get those severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Well, Joplin, a school district incoming 6th graders got to visit some special guests with wagging tails at the public training facility in Joplin yesterday. The program is called the JPD Kids Academy, and students had the chance to learn about the vital role canines play in law enforcement and got a closer look at what it means to serve and protect. Now, it's all part of an effort to inspire young minds to start thinking of what they want to be when they grow up.
I think it's neat to show kids kind of what it's like in law enforcement, and then also show some parallels as long as the stuff they're learning in school, like writing sentences, spelling, physical activity, other things like that, interpersonal skills, showing that all these things that they're learning right now in school can apply to jobs later on in life.
We want them to know that Joplin has so much to offer. We want them to know that they have resources here, they have educational opportunities, and they have career pathways here.
Well, students said they enjoyed having a handcuffing relay race as well. Well, help for the Boy Scouts came in the form of a tasty fundraiser yesterday in Joplin. The First Presbyterian Church on Pearl Street cooked up the fundraiser to benefit Boy Scout Troop 10. Now, for $10, visitors could grab a hamburger, hot dog, baked beans, and some chips.
Meet at the church every other Monday meeting during the summer, and then every Monday night throughout the rest of the school year. And they wanted to put on a fundraiser for us, so we came here to volunteer and serve food and cook burgers and hot dogs.
The money will go to help pay for the cost of camping gear for the Scouts. The city of Joplin will bring back a popular recycling event this week. The Joplin Recycling Center free tire drop-off event rolls back out this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The center moved the event to the North Lone Elm site due to a need for more space. Last year's event drew 110 vehicles and collected more than 12 tons of tires. You can find more information on this event on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, every year, Route 66 brings all types of visitors to the historic byway, including artists. This week, the World Street Painting Festival hit the road with 10 artists, 8 international and 2 from the States, bringing their 3D painting skills to the festival, marking the route's centennial. The festival runs through Saturday, weather allowing, of course, at Joplin Schifferdecker Park. The public is welcome, and the formal unveiling is scheduled for 10 until 2 this Saturday. The public chalk art project will also take place on the same day from noon until 2. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. An international group projects that the U.S. economic growth is expected to rapidly slow down this year. Plus, Alaska Airlines reveals its first European destination. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, if you feel like you're constantly receiving scam calls, texts, or emails, you're certainly not alone. According to a new survey, an overwhelming majority are targeted by scammers every week. Ivan Rodriguez discusses the common tactics tricksters use and how you can protect yourself.
If you're checking your email every day, chances are you'll see a subject line that might make you raise a brow.
Right away, I'm thinking to myself, is this something that I've been expecting?
According to a CNET survey, 96% of U.S. adults receive at least one scam email, text, or phone call each week. 90% say they get scam emails on a weekly basis. CNET's Dacia Milden says the scam calls and texts are surging too.
My phone rings constantly, and that's at 83%, still very high, followed by text messages, of course, at 82%.
In 2024 alone, U.S. adults reported losing a collective whopping $470 million in those sneaky text scams, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Milden says fraudsters have gotten so good at crafting their messages and creating a sense of urgency that people need to stay vigilant, especially on phone calls.
If you don't know who that person is after you have said hello, don't say anything further, hang up. And the reason why I say that is so important is because artificial intelligence has evolved to where scammers are actually able to clone your voice and your responses to unfortunately use those for scams later.
Aside from following basic internet safety guidelines, such as not clicking unknown links and not answering unknown calls, Milden says there are other ways to keep criminals from impacting your finances.
Right now is a really good time to freeze your credit. So that way, if they happen to get access to your information, hey, your credit's already frozen.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Well, an international group projects that U.S. economic growth will hit the brakes this year. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, made of 38 member states, including the U.S., forecasts the country's growth will slide to 1.5% in 2025 and 1.6% next year. Now, that's a steep drop from last year's 2.8% growth. The group blamed new tariffs as one of the causes, with President Donald Trump's plan to double tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum set to kick in today. The OECD also predicts that global growth will slow to 2.9% this year, down from 3.3% in 2024. Alaska Airlines has announced its first European destination. Starting in May of 2026, the carrier will launch nonstop flights between Seattle and Rome. Alaska Airlines says the destination is the most requested among its rewards members. Tickets for flights to Rome will go on sale starting this fall. And this is shaping up to be the summer of the snack wrap wars. McDonald's has announced that it will bring back its popular chicken snack wraps on July 10th. The announcement came a day after Popeyes announced its all-new chicken wraps with the choice of classic, spicy, or honey mustard spread. That's a check of Consumer Watch this morning. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Still some cloudy skies out there. Still a few showers, even a couple of rumbles of thunder. We'll tell you how long those will last and when our next round of strong, potentially severe storms are when we come back, as well as birthdays and anniversaries. All right, time for some Wednesday birthdays. We're going to start in Weir with Kylie Barney, celebrating birthday number 24. Happy birthday.
And a happy 34th birthday to Derek Manley Swisher in Chanute.
And we have Jaden and Gracie Baugh celebrating their 3rd anniversary in Carthage. A happy anniversary to the Baughs.
And a happy 48th anniversary to Michael and Carol Clyburn in Galena.
And in Columbus, Patty Robinson celebrating another year wiser. Very happy birthday to you, Patty. And a happy birthday and anniversary to everyone on what was a fairly short list, especially compared to what was it, June 3rd's, like tons of anniversaries, you know. So if you want to celebrate with us, Elise has information you need.
Yes, please submit your birthdays and your anniversaries to birthdays@komnewsnow.com. Be sure to include all the wonderful information, including the date of your celebration, and to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen.
Of course, very important information. We've got some important weather information for you as well this morning. Skywatch Storm Tracker still busy with some showers, even a few rumbles of thunder out there. Most of the heavy rain at this time is on the Missouri side of things. So rolling through Osceola right now, Stockton getting in on it. Sheldon, you are about done, as is Lamar. Jasper, same thing. A few showers on the backside there, eventually rolling out. Greenfield, though, got some heavier showers, and Mount Vernon, you got some heavier rain as well on the way coming up I-44 now, heading up towards Springfield. We've got some showers that a few rumbles of thunder have redeveloped around the Joplin area, stretching up toward Carthage, and then just to the east of Columbus. You head south, we got some moderate showers, Diamond, Neosho, just outside of Stella, and Goodman, stretching back down toward Pineville. Got a little shower southeast of Grove, some heavier rain moving into the little town of Kansas, down in southern Delaware County, and a few more showers back up to Craig County, north of Veneta, one west of Welch, and another one northeast of Nowata. All right, showers, thunderstorms, they're rolling through. Now, once this main complex gets through. And off to the north and east, the best chances for any additional showers and storms will be roughly right along and south of I-44 heading into the afternoon. That's thanks to some additional development that's already taking place. Actually, I didn't get to show you that, so I'm going to back up and show you that. That's taking place down here across eastern Oklahoma. Nothing severe expected, but see how it just kind of keeps regenerating all the way back down into south central Oklahoma. That's what's going to bring us the opportunities for some shower storms, again, mainly right along and immediately south of the I-44 corridor rolling through today. Now, some of our friends in southeast Kansas, you may get a little more sunshine. If you do, you'll be a few degrees warmer than everyone else. Otherwise, we're mostly cloudy, much cooler today. And there's some of those storms even by 5, still maybe north of Cassville. And eventually, by about 6, 7 o'clock, rain chances are done, and we'll be mostly cloudy once again overnight tonight. Mild as well, a little above normal as we go into the mid-60s for most of us. Isolated, the widely scattered showers are possible during the daytime on Thursday. Most of us will be dry for most of the day, and we'll have an opportunity to also warm up as well. And then late Thursday into early Friday morning, here comes this thunderstorm complex. And this is the one we were talking about that initially had a level 2 out of 5 severe risk stretching all the way east into Missouri. It's been curtailed way back to the west, and once we go beyond 5 a.m., you'll see why. So this complex rolls in from west to east initially, and then takes a dive down to the southeast through the morning. So that makes our greater severe chances on Friday morning across parts of southeast Kansas and the western portions of our area through northeastern Oklahoma, with some showers and storms that could be strong to low-grade severe outside of that, but the higher chances are going to be as that complex pushes through. A few scattered showers and storms Friday morning, then we clear out for a little bit, and then late Friday, we're looking at maybe some additional isolated to scattered thunderstorm development, and some of these, since they'll be by themselves, could be strong, potentially severe as we head into late Friday and very early Saturday morning. So tomorrow's severe risk looks like this. No areas highlighted for tornado risk, but we do have that isolated or the level 1 out of 5 risk for hail, and we have an isolated to scattered wind risk. And see that slightly higher risk is following that same path that complex is expected to take as it rolls in and dives to the south and east. Then as we go into our Friday, and this is going to be for late Friday into early Saturday, we have the level 1 and then the level 2 out of 5 risks for strong, potentially severe thunderstorms out there as well. Still getting some rain showers as we showed you on Skywatch Storm Tracker in Joplin, and then we've got those shower storms in the end eventually maintaining themselves along and south of I-44. Low 60s to start, upper 60s by 11 a.m. And again, aside from some of our far western counties that may get a little more sunlight, the majority of us in the low 70s today. The north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Heading into the evening, we've got those mostly cloudy skies back down to the mid 60s with calm winds. So here's those thunderstorm chances. And remember, on this future track, it's painting a very broad area of rain. It's simply showing that in these areas, showers will be possible. So we'll have those thunderstorms maybe lingering into Saturday morning. They will clear out, and we'll spend the most of Saturday dry, pretty decent, much warmer. And as we go into Sunday, especially into the afternoon, we could get a few additional isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder out there before that will begin to clear out as well. We're having another look at your forecast, which includes that extended forecast that we almost showed you here in just a moment, as well as the news you need to know. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., or if you stick with us on KOAM Plus, we're going to learn about a unique effort that's underway in New York to empower young people to change their lives.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities formally charged 25-year-old Michael Cook III in an exchange of gunfire with Miami, Oklahoma police on Saturday. Charges are discharging a firearm into a dwelling, 2 counts of shooting with intent to kill, and feloniously pointing a firearm. Cook is still in a Tulsa hospital in critical condition. That's where he remains. Around 7:15 yesterday morning, an SUV overturned into the parking lot of Wellspring Church on North Main in Webb City. Missouri State Highway Patrol say the southbound SUV driven by a Webb City teen went off the road to the right, overturning. There were no injuries. And Crawford County law enforcement recovered items reportedly stolen from Jake's Fireworks. The sheriff's office says the burglary was reported Monday and that someone cut the fence and stole fireworks, tools, and other items. Law officers found the stolen goods in 3 homes in Pittsburgh and Frontenac. Let's check up today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we'll have those shower thunderstorm chances mainly along and south of I-44 today. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, cooler into the low 70s. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Rain should wrap up 6, 7 o'clock. We'll be back down into the mid 60s overnight tonight. Tomorrow, we'll spend most of the day dry. An isolated shower or two will be possible. Then late tomorrow into early Friday, more thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to low grade severe. And then late Friday into early Saturday, another round of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms. And then after that, I'll start to heat up next week. Definitely feeling like June.
All right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making Chinese cabbage and chicken salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Fast food chains are feeling the impact of the financial uncertainty in this country. Coming up next, what they're doing to lure customers back into their stores.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, members of the Tri-State Men's Barbershop Chorus explain that playing an instrument is not always necessary for performing music.
Plus, Sherry Nelson also join us in the studio for another Wildcat Wednesday. However, that's going to wrap things up for us for now. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.